What's up, guys? Ron here. Happy Sunday. And I want to make a video to give props to Sam Sulek, the social media superstar who is making his pro debut in 20 days or 19 days, I guess, at the Arnold Classic in Classic Physique, going up against guys like Mike Sommerfeld, Wesley Vissers, One Punch Naz, Niall Darwin, and oh, he's not on the show. But guys, I am so impressed. He just dropped some photos and videos. Let's look at the video. This was posted at 21 days out. Called it 21 Pump Street, which I thought was kind of clever. And he keeps, he's done this before. He keeps showing the back detail because lower back is where a lot of guys tend to hold body fat. Obviously, we hold our fat around the middle as males. Women tend to hold it in the lower body. So when you've got that Christmas tree super detailed and crispy looking like he does, you know the body fat is just pretty much gone. And we'll show some other things he posted, showing the glutes already in. You know, most of the glutes doesn't show with the Classic Physique trunks, yet still very, very impressed. Now, I'm still not predicting a very high placing for Sam, but based on condition alone, if he shows up shredded to the bone, and a few guys who were better genetically, just lucked out at birth with better shape and structure, if they're off and they're not very lean, which doesn't happen often in Classic Physique, but it can happen, I think he's going to be a few places up from last, because up until fairly recently, a couple weeks ago, I was pretty convinced, I was certain Sam Sulek would be dead last, just based on the structure and shape. Top 10, well, Goku, I think there's only, we'll have to count the guys, how many are in the show. I think there's never more than 15 in a class at the Arnold in any division. That's one of the beautiful things about the Arnold Classic. They cap off the divisions because it's invite only, so you're never going to see 50, 60, 70 people up on stage in any one division ever. It's more like 12 to 15. And they've eliminated divisions that they didn't feel were performing anymore, such as women's physique, women's bodybuilding, men's 212, which I'm kind of bummed about that. Did they get rid of wellness too? I think they're missing like 4 divisions, but let's take a look at Sam's photos that he just posted. He's been posting some really impressive shots. And we'll take a look at the lineup. We'll see how many he's up against. So this was 3 days ago. Is this the newest post? I think it is. Yeah, so this is the newest post. This was posted on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday. So 3 weeks out. That's impressive. So look at that, man. I mean, he's leaner now than he was when he made his pro debut. I could see that. He has improved. He's a little bigger and fuller. He's got a little better muscle separation, you know, as you expect. Now, this is what impresses me right there. Those glutes, oops. Come on, Ron. Get your shit together, Ron. The glutes are already in. Look at that side leg. And the side leg is very, very impressive. I remember he got crap about his legs at one point. And his quads could use a little more sweep, but that's a genetic thing. But look at that side leg. The legs from the side are just so impressive. I mean, I would expect to see that in open bodybuilding development like that. So good on you, Sam. Very, very impressed. Now, he doesn't need me to be impressed. He's got millions and millions of followers around the world, but I just want to give this kid his props, man. He didn't even need to compete in the first place. I've said that before. He's making great money. He's super popular. He certainly never needed to get on stage and put himself up for scrutiny, but he did it. And he turned pro, and people gave him crap because it wasn't the strongest show. But, you know, he didn't plan that. It's just who showed up. And why didn't he do something like USA or Nationals? Because he lives in Columbus, and he's got a really good relationship with the Arnold Classic promoters. So it really made sense for him to do the Arnold Amateur last year, to try to get his pro card. And he did it first try. Not many people turn pro on their first try. That's a rarity. It was a great shot. You could see the face is all sucked in. He never really had a big fat moon face anyway, but you could see this kid he's on his game. He's definitely going to be in shape. And there's his cats. Giles gives him extra points for being a cat guy, a cat person. So yeah, here are the wheels. And the quads are up a little bit. I saw one channel was accusing him of putting oil in his quads to bring up the sweep. And I don't see anything like that at all going on. I don't see any weird, lumpy, misshapen look to those quads. I think those are 100% legit, personally. More comments? What's up, Ron? Definitely can't stay long. Oh, yeah, it's 5 hours ahead over there. Sam is looking too lean too early. Keep up his calories. Well, no, I don't think he's looking lean too early, because if you're looking like this 3 weeks out, yeah, he's pretty much stage ready. He doesn't need to do much, but that means he can eat a little bit more now. He can afford to maybe back off on the cardio at this point because the fat's already gone, and eat up a little and fill out. Now, I don't know how close he is to his weight cap right now. If it's going to be a struggle for him to make weight, because remember, he did get, I think it's like a 10-pound increase over what he competed at last year as an amateur. The pros do have a higher weight cap for the same height than amateurs, as they should. Now and again on YouTube, he'll talk about how he'll get 5K calories and so on. Yeah, I think, like I said, he's coaching himself, which so much credit. That is not easy. You have to have so much confidence these days to do that, because you have all these other people you're competing against. They all have coaches, good coaches. Guys like Chris Aceto, Neil Hill, on and on and on. Top coaches working with them, and he's all on his own. What's up, Zionic? Good to see you. He's been very lean for the past 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, that is a concern. That's a danger. It could happen. But I also assume Sam's got people that he talks to, the people that give him a look, a second set of eyes, if you will. Because when you're coaching yourself, the most difficult aspect of that, the hardest part, is the final month or so. Not because peaking is some voodoo science or anything. It's because your mind can really start playing tricks. You get in your head and you look in the mirror, and sometimes you'll see yourself looking leaner than you are, or flatter than you are, or whatever the case may be. And it causes you to do stupid things. Like, if you think you're behind, you might jump on the treadmill. You might jump on the Stairmaster for 2 hours a day, cut your calories. Or the opposite happens a lot too, where people think, I'm losing size, I better eat more. And they go into a caloric surplus heading into the show, and they don't come in shape, because you have to be taking in less calories than you're burning to get in great shape. See what else he's got on here on his Insta. So this was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, he doesn't post a lot on Instagram because he is a YouTube superstar. So that was how he looked at. So this was 6 weeks out. He was very, very lean at 6 weeks out. You say, where can you really go from there? Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have much fat to lose at all, guys. He's just about where he needs to be in terms of body fat, because that was 6 weeks out. That was 9 weeks ago. So that was 12 weeks out. Yeah, he's got in shape early. And the good thing about that, as I said, is that allows a lot of guys, especially if they're not way over their weight cap, or they're nowhere near their weight cap. I'm not sure what the case with him is. It does allow you to eat more. Eat into the show, eat up, and fill out, and come in with a much fuller look. So, like I said, structure and shape-wise, he's not as gifted as a lot of the guys he's going to be up against. However, it could still be enough to have him beat a few people. Even if he beats, even if he only beats 2, 3, 4 guys, that's a win. Anything other than even getting on that stage as a pro is a win in itself. Of course, there's some donuts, but beating anybody, because nothing is expected of him. A lot of people have said, he's not a real bodybuilder. He's a social media guy, but getting on stage and putting on the line and proving it and winning his pro card, that does show he is a real bodybuilder. I call classic physique is bodybuilding. It's all bodybuilding to me. The divisions where you hit poses, to me, that's all bodybuilding. But I can see that. So, when I do criticize the shape and structure, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just pointing out, other guys have more of a V taper. He's got a little wider waist. They have more quad sweep than he does. And, there's nothing you can do about these things. These are all genetics, but he is making the most of his genetics. And for that, I got to give him respect. I have to. So we want to take a look at who he's going to be up against, shall we? Let's see first if you have any more comments we need to get to. What's up, Davey? Sam's going to shock everyone, place top 4. Yeah, I don't know, Davey. And it's not that I have anything against. I have nothing against Sam. I think I'd get along great with this kid. And he is a kid. He's 24. All my kids are older than him. So could it happen? I don't know. Well, let's take a look at the lineup in a second, and you tell me. Let's see a full body update. No, I don't think the lower body is going to be. I think he's done a good job. The mouth eats of bringing up his lower body to match. His legs definitely look better than they did a year ago. No chance to finish top four. It would be a stretch. It'd be a stretch. Top 8 would be a huge, huge victory. So, all right, let's do this. Let's go to the Arnold Classic, Arnold Sports. Look at the lineup. So, how many guys are in Classic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's 12 guys. Nobody's dropped out, right? So last place would be 12th. Some guys I think would be almost impossible for him to beat. I mean, a couple that just jump right out at me. He's not going to beat Wesley Vissers. Wesley's an Arnold Classic champ. Mike Sommerfeld is a defending Arnold champ. He's runner-up at the Olympia twice, 2 years in a row. He's not beating those guys. I don't think he's beating Menegate, Picciole. These guys are just genetically superior. Zancanelli. Let's take a look. I mean, Wesley. What's Wesley looking like now? So you see the difference in the frontal bicep when I know I should have been able to do a side-by-side, but you see like Wesley, much better natural shape and structure, wide across the shoulders, really narrow in the waist and the hips. And his legs have been mercilessly attacked by people, and they still have a better sweep than Sam's. I'm really not trying to put Sam down. I like the kid a lot. I'm just real. When I make predictions, it's based on what I see in terms of potential. And you got to look at all the factors. You got to look at the things that you can control, such as condition, fullness. Those are things that you can control with diet, cardio, size to an extent, obviously, but they're limited for how big they can be by that body weight cap. Structure and muscle shape. Those are two things that are just immutable. It means you can't change them. They are what they are. So Wesley, he's not beating Wesley. Wesley looks freaking phenomenal. I don't know if Wesley's beating Mike. I love Wesley's physique. To me, it's a real throwback to the golden age of bodybuilding. He would have been fit right in, I should say, in the 70s, up on stage with guys like Arnold, Frank Zane. Yeah, there's with his coach, the boss of Outlaw, Stefan Kinsel. So Wesley, yeah, that was yesterday. Wesley, he's just too tough. He's too tough for Sam. It's like a swole Willem Dafoe. Sam took the proper amount of drugs, participating in the retarded stuff we call modern bodybuilding. Well, I mean, you can say that about everybody, right? Davey again. What's up, Davey? If he's allowed to come in at 229, probably 240 on stage. Well, I don't think he's going to fill out. It wouldn't even help that much. It's not going to be a size issue with Sam so much. Again, it's going to come down to, because you saw Sam's frontal bicep and you're looking at Wesley. They're like two different species. Wesley's just so round and full, and he's got that crazy V-taper. It's just great genetics. Sulek never beats Visser's name in the same league. Gains, appreciate your transparency, honestly. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. Whether I like someone personally or not, which most of the time I don't even know the people, but I have to call things as I see them or else. All right, so here's Menegate, they call him. Matthias Menegate Picciole. Is he from Italy or Brazil? I can never remember. So here's him back at the Olympia in October. And again, you can see, look at the tiny waist. We call that an X frame when someone has real good width up top, the shoulders, the lats, look at those nice bicep peaks, those flaring quad sweeps. That's an X frame. That is a really, really great X frame. Condition wise, Sam's going to be right there with these guys. That's one thing he will not fall short on. He won't be less conditioned than the guys who beat him. That I'm very confident of saying that. However, he does not have just the genetic blessings that some of these guys got. And I don't give them any extra credit. It's just they picked the right parents, as I like to say, which is silly because you don't pick your parents. It's really just up to fate. Now, Sam's got better genetics than most humans, but these guys they're on another level. This is Menegate. Is this when he turned pro? I think that's when is that when he won? Did he win Texas? Texas Pro. Yeah, I guess he did, right? Is that first place? I think he won. Hard work pays off. Okay, that's he's Brazilian. That's Portuguese. Yeah, he did win. He won the Texas show last year. Wow, good job. More. Let's see, with the social media following, Sam's bringing a lot of attention to sport. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think his future, he'd be better off in open, because with open, you can build enough mass to compensate to a point for having things like a wider waist. Like, good example is Michael Krizanek from Slovakia. Pretty damn wide waist, but everything else is just phenomenal. He's built up so much width in the shoulders, the upper back, so much overall mass that he gets away. He pulls it off in most poses. Wesley's legs. I'm going to go back to Menegate before we move on. Yeah, so that's Menegate. Very impressed with this guy. Very impressed with him. What'd you say? If Wesley's legs halfway mashed up body, really too big shit for Mike. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if his legs are going to be much better. I hope so, right? Just giving constructive criticism. Well, a lot of people can't tell the difference. I don't glaze anybody. I mean, if I'm complimentary of someone, I honestly believe it. It's not a personal thing. It's not because I'm a big fanboy or anything like that. But if you say nice things about people, then they say you're a fanboy. Wonder if Mike is going to be 5'8" or something. I think he's going to be 5'8", Davey. I think that's what's going on. I believe he was reheighted, and that's why he had to be so much lighter last year at the Olympia. But I did speak with his coach, Neil Hill, a few days ago. That interview is up on this channel, and they are planning to come in at the lighter body weight, the same weight. And here we go. Here's Mike right here. Mike Sommerfeld, the Mike the Badass. He's got some new shirts. I think that's what this is all about. Yeah. So he's a guy that usually is ready way ahead of time. All right, so this was 2 days ago. This is the latest posing update from Mike Sommerfeld from Germany. Mike is in Las Vegas right now. He's training for the Arnold, the final 10 weeks or so. I think he's spending 10 weeks leading into the show in Las Vegas, training with his coach, Neil Hill. Neil is looking at him in person every day, and he's right on track too. Some people were saying, Mike looks behind, his back's watery, but I think he's dialing in. He's been ready. He's been looking leaner at 3 weeks out before, but Neil Hill is one of the greatest coaches in the history of bodybuilding, and Mike is a very hard worker. I have no doubt in my mind they're going to come in exactly the way he needs to. And he's my favorite. If you said you need to bet $1,000 on one guy to win class physique round, who is it? I'd go with Sommerfeld. Not a gambling man, but still, I would go with Mike. He is the badass. He is the badass. Menegate's Brazilian. Yeah, I figured it out when I saw the Portuguese in his captions. I'm guessing Mike is sleeping on a medieval stretching rack. No, I don't think he's going to try to be 5'9" again, because I think that was I believe the difference was something like 212 to 204. I think he had to lose, and he ended up losing more just to be safe. It was a very rough situation that him and Neil were in right before the last Olympia, because it happened. They were told they were going to rehydrate on Saturday before the Olympia. So less than a week, 6 days before he would go on stage, and 4 days before he would get weighed in. I think he got weighed in on a Thursday. So they had very little time. His knee high socks made him shrink somehow. I don't know if those were compression socks. I really don't know why he would wear those big socks all the time. But he looks fantastic, man. I mean, he's no joke. Mike is the defending champ. In fact, I have his routine. I have his routine queued up, don't I? Yeah, this was a year ago at the Arnold. And boy, he looked phenomenal. Yeah, he was at a higher body weight than what he was able to be at the Olympia. I think it was about 10-pound difference, maybe 12 pounds. But if he brings this look again, or, obviously it would be a slightly smaller version of this look. I just don't see anyone beating him. The guy's just so well put together. I've said he's not so much classic as he's a bodybuilder, but he's a classic bodybuilder. Before we had classic physique and before we had 212 and all that, we had guys over the years who had phenomenal shape and structure as open guys, just beautiful, aesthetically pleasing physiques. And he's in that mold of guys like Muhammad Makawe, Francis Benfado, Bob Paris, Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier. It's very, very nice. Charles Claremont would be another one. Had beautiful shape. Mike the badass. Mike. I know it's a Sam video, and here I am. Mike will easily win here. Come on. Yeah, I mean, again, Goku, I said, if you said, Harris, you have to bet $1,000 on somebody or $10,000, I would have gone with Mike. I mean, he's Mike the badass. So let's take a look at how he looked at the Olympia. So he was flat at the Olympia. Condition was fine. But because they dropped 12 pounds in less than a week, it did flatten him out. So the muscles weren't really pushing out against the skin, which, as some of you guys probably know, that does make you look less conditioned than when you're full and the skin is nice and tight, stretched over the muscles. It is a big difference. And it's basically why he lost. I think if his height, if that whole height thing hadn't happened and he had been able to come in the way he did the previous year at the Olympia and the way he came in at the Arnold earlier last year, I'm fairly confident he would have beaten Ramon. As good as Ramon is, and Ramon is damn good, but I think Mike's just a little bit better. Look at that. Nice and gracious in defeat. They're all hugging him. Good stuff. I don't want to keep talking. I don't want to make this the Mike Sommerfeld video because we're supposed to be talking about Sam, but we're looking at all the guys. We're looking at all the guys that he's going to be up against. So, and there are 12 guys competing in classic physique. So there's 11 people that could potentially beat Sam, and let's see if he can beat any of them. So far, I haven't seen him. So here's Andrea Mamoli from Italy, the Italian gift. So this was a week ago. I'm not overly impressed by the condition. I don't know if it's the lighting or just the resolution. Sam's in much better condition than this, but again, in terms of structure and shape and how round and full the muscles are and the small joints, Andrea Mamoli from Italy here, he's just more gifted. He was born luckier. Yeah, Andrea Mamoli, stage teorico y pratico. Oh, I think that was, look at that. I mean, that's a beautiful physique, man. Real nice sweep to the quads. Great V-taper there. Another thing that Sam needs to get is a little more triceps to match his biceps. Because Sam's tries don't sweep down like that. This is Andrea Mamoli from Italy. Yeah, I don't know. That posing video, these pictures were a week ago. So these were 4 weeks out, roughly. I don't know. I don't know if he could beat Andrea. It'd be a stretch. Let's see who else. So far, I haven't seen someone I'll say he'll definitely beat. Let's see, Paul Canu. Can he beat Paul? Don't know. That's a wedding. It's not a posing picture. All right, so this was yesterday. He looks like he's in condition. You can see the glutes. Glutes are in. Lower back is in. He's a smaller guy. I could see that. But really nice shape. That's a client of his. He's a coach. 4 to 6 weeks out. Wow. Oh, so this is as he diets. So this is, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this guy might be natural. Paul Canu. And as such, this is going to sound awful, but that might be one reason why Sam might be able to beat this guy. Might not be able to. This guy's still in better shape, but Sam's got a little more mass. He's definitely looking a lot leaner and harder. He's got that hard look to the muscle that naturals often don't get that. Yeah, that was 4 days ago. Yeah, I mean, this guy has a better physique than Sam, but I don't know if he's going to be as lean, if he's going to be lean enough to beat Sam. Let's see. What else you guys say? Mike lost 1 point to Ramon. He can win at the slider weight. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting Sommerfeld for a second. Hoping Wesley legs will be better at seeing this year. Yeah, I mean, if Wesley's had all this time to bring his legs up and they haven't really improved, how are they suddenly going to start growing? Honestly, the only thing that I could think of would be if if he took, say, like 3 months to stay in Vegas and train with Milos Sarshev is a wizard at putting size on people. What's might play second? Ramon is good for business. Brazil has emerged. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care, Kalyan, about any of that stuff. Politics really doesn't factor into the judging the way people seem to think it does. What's up, Xavier? Xavier Willis in Tasmania. I trained with my buddy Chris today, Chris Griffin, who is married to a woman, Nikki, over in Brisbane, and he's actually been to Tasmania. Well, he looks more classic than Mike. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that was Paul Canu. I don't know how you say it. Yeah, that was 5 days ago. I think it's possible that Sam might be able to beat this guy if this guy isn't much more conditioned than this, because Sam is looking like granite right now, and condition does matter. It's only one factor. If all else is equal and somebody's in better condition, that person wins. But there's so many: size, structure, shape, symmetry, balance, proportion. These things are all important. So that was Paul Cannon. We're looking at all the guys competing in Classic right now. Hang New. Phil New. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name, Phil. I'm sorry. I really, genuinely. That was 6 weeks out. So I don't know how much that was pinned. So hopefully that's not the last update. That was 6 weeks out, and we're at 3. So that's 3 weeks old. That was 4 weeks ago. This is Phil New. Can what's his name? Sulek beat this? I don't know. Structurally, he's got a little bit of narrow clavicles. He's not real wide. But he does have better legs. Look at those legs. Is it racist if I say that most Asian competitors, bodybuilders, Classic, whatever, they all seem to have amazing legs? I don't think it's racist when you give it a compliment, right? And a lot of times their back is kind of lagging. The back thickness here could be better. But Phil is somebody Sam might be able to beat. I'm not saying he's going to beat him. That was 7 weeks ago, so we're way. That's way old. So I've seen a couple guys that Phil does have a chance of beating so far. Now we go back to Italy. Gabriele Zancanelli. I don't know if he's beaten Gabriel. How old is this? Oh, this is 47 minutes old. So it's a pretty new update, guys. It's only 47 minutes old. It's a big guy. For Classic, that's a lot of mass. And again, his coaches they're pretty impressed. Impressionante. Don't tell me he's Brazilian too, right? I don't know. No, Italy. Gabriele Zancanelli. Yeah, again, that condition's not knocking my socks off, but he's got 3 weeks left. This is the full posing. This is from today. Gabriele Zancanelli from Italy. Yeah, he looks damn good. I'm just not loving obviously you don't have to be stage ready at 3 weeks out. That's why the only thing that matters is how you look on the day of the show. But I've seen some guys so far that they're further ahead condition-wise. Doesn't mean he's not going to nail it when the time comes. Yeah, these are all very, very recent. But look at that. Look at the width across the shoulders, the back. You can see how great his back development is from the front in that front lat spread. Those lats are peeking through. He's another one. He's dangerous. Check your comments, guys. Make sure there's no more comments. So, let's see. I have Sulek in second to last place. He's going to have to be top 10 Olympians. Yeah, I think most of these guys, and you guys, please correct me because I'm wrong all the time. I think almost everyone on this list has been top 10 at the Olympia before. Mike is more classic than Wesley. Mike has smaller waist and bigger legs. Yeah, but he's more, what's more classic? Classic, it seems to me, is something different to everybody. Wesley just reminds me of his fellow picture, Barry DeMay. Yeah, Kelly. And Barry DeMay was a great Olympia level competitor for a few years. His best placing was 1988 Olympia in Los Angeles. He was third place at the Olympia. And Barry was about the same size as Chris Bumstead, like 6'1" and about 235 pounds. They were right around 240 at the most. Beware, Mr. Ryan, get canceled on assessment. Governor of Massachusetts, the mayor, who were Democrats. Oh, they're not just Democrats. They're like uber woke liberal Democrats. Don't get me started on the governor of Massachusetts and the mayor of Boston. They're awful. Zancanelli's Brazilian, not another one. Oh, boy. Let's see. Fabrizio. Yeah. Okay, so nobody gets to be Italian anymore. You're probably right. Mentalidade. I'm just trying. Zanca team. That is Portuguese. That is Portuguese. I think that's Portuguese. I can tell the difference between Portuguese and Spanish and Italian when I see them in writing, but I don't speak any of these languages fluently. All right, so that was him. Who else? So far, I haven't seen anyone that he's definitely beating. All right, this is Ethan Gohari. I don't know where he's from. 2 pro wins, Olympia qualified. That's Arabic, the Persian Lion. Okay. So he's from, oh boy, he's from Iran. Poor guy. I said poor guy because of everything that's happening over in Iran right now. That was 14 weeks ago. What did he win? Oh, he won the Steve Carr Las Vegas Classic. And look at that condition. He's kissing the trophy. He was shredded there. Look at that. First place. Oh, okay. Tells you the name of the show. And he won $7,500 for that. He speaks great English, or somebody did. So this is Ethan Gohari, the Persian Lion. He's already qualified for the 2026 Olympia because that was a post. I don't know if it was post-Olympia or was after qualifying. So, yeah, he's already qualified for next year's Olympia, along with good cast there. Anton Tushny, don't really know him. Ruffin, of course. Fabio Juno, Ramondino, Andrea Mamoli. Yeah, okay. So I think it's safe to say that anyone who's won a classic physique show, Sam's probably not going to be beating them. These are all old shots. How's he looking now, though? Let's see if we can get a current update of Ethan. Any full posing? It was a leg training. That was a leg training at 5 weeks out. I'm sure he's got great leg. That's a client. Well, we saw what he looked like on stage. He's very, very good, obviously. He's already qualified for next year's Olympia. So I don't know about him beating him. Who else we got? We're almost done there. Just a couple more. Jorge Herrera. He's been the Olympia top 12 twice. Tijuana Medical. Okay, I think Jorge's from Mexico. 6 days out. Okay, here we go. These are some recent updates from Jorge. George Herrera. Sometimes he calls himself George, sometimes Jorge. Definitely in shape. Great side shots there. Great side leg. Just like Sam. Look at that. Okay. Now we're talking. George Herrera. Shredded. To do well in class physique, you need leg development matching up body. Oh, yeah. I mean, the standards have changed. I mean, you didn't even need the back development on the guys back in the 70s was nothing like it is today. Legs and back were not really priorities back in the old days. Back, I'd say back became more of a body part that people started focusing more on once Lee Haney was Mr. Olympia, which started in 1984. I should say Samir in 83. Franco always had a good back, but legs really didn't become a huge factor. I mean, guys didn't want huge legs until Platts came along and set a whole new standard. Oh, Ethan lives in Australia. Okay, so he's Persian, but he lives in Australia. Thank you. Appreciate that. Donald Pump. Are those dinos for Ramondino? Sides left by the rest. We should be able to stand for the lunatic liberals. Yeah, that's a whole other video. Ramon Classic, Terrence Classic, Sommerfeld 212, Sulek Open, Sebum Classic, in my opinion. Well, Sommerfeld will never go 212. In that interview I did with Neil Hill, his coach, they said he's too tall, which he's been listed as 5'9", and more recently I think he was heighted at 5'8", which is still, that's too tall to be a great 212 guy. You're up against Clarita's 5 foot. So 8 inches shorter. Keon is probably like 5'4", 5'5". They're just so much thicker. And if you put Sommerfeld next to them, you would see a major difference. But this guy, George Herrera, just shredded. Look at that. Very impressive. Good on him. All right. Well, who else can he beat? Can he beat anybody? Come on. We got to find someone that he can definitely beat. Vahid Badfi. Iranian, another Iranian. Wow. These Iranians are kicking ass. So this was the last Olympia? Oh, no. 30 weeks ago? No, this must have been the Olympia before that. 2024. Not a huge guy. Not a huge guy, but look at that condition. Jeez, dug out. Those are some deep striations in the glutes and the hams. Very deep, clear striations. Like I've seen some guys at the highest pro levels who don't have much going on in the hamstrings at all, and it's disappointing. This guy's really got a impressive shape to him. Look at that. Vahid. Okay, we got some posing from Vahid. I don't know if this was a 25 Olympia. It looks like the 25 Olympia backdrop. Can I see in the back? If he'd move a little bit out of the way, I could see the year, but I think this was last year's Olympia. That's some Gilco footage right there. That's crystal clear. So Vahid is an Iranian living, I don't know where. Persians are all over the world. Hopefully he's not in Iran. I say that because I wouldn't wish that on anybody trying to get ready for one of the biggest bodybuilding competitions in the world. It's really only second biggest to the Olympia in terms of scope, prize money. It does have more prize money for first place for open than any other show in history ever has. Yeah, Vahid looks really good. Really good. Impressed with him. I think we got one more guy to look at. Yeah. Kim Angel. Kim Angel, 4 pro wins. Twice at the Olympias. Twice on the Olympia stage so far. This update was posted earlier today or 12 hours ago, whatever. He's in some Spanish country. I do speak some half-ass Spanish. And yeah, he's looking rough too. Rough in a good way. Not looking rough bad, looking tough, I should say. Yeah, I wonder how many guys regret the back tattoos. It's like one area I would never get tattooed if I was a competitor. I would put nothing on the back, like the big back piece that what's his name has. Rafael Brandao, Rafa Brandao. I think that distracts from the overall flow of the physique from the back. I wouldn't have done that, but it's his body. My body, my choice, as the ladies like to say. So this guy's looking all dried out and shredded and strided. Looking awesome. So far I haven't seen anyone that I'll say Sulek is definitely beating. Which, you know, if you don't want him to place last, you got to find somebody they can beat, theoretically, on paper. Oh, nice girl. Yeah, I mean, this guy looks down. They all look good, man. I mean, I haven't seen anyone that I would say, what the hell why did they invite this guy? I haven't seen anyone like that yet. Yeah, he looks good, man. He looks good. That's Kim Angel. Sometimes I try to figure out where they are. I look and see if there's a location. Oh, UK. He's in the UK. Or was he just there for something? I don't know. He might have just been there for seminars. I know they had a big seminar there. So where's this? Don't know. Valencia. That's Spain? I think Valencia's in Spain, right? They probably have one in Italy too. I don't know. That was 3 weeks ago, so that was 6 weeks out. He was already shredded. Yeah. I don't know, man. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Classic physique is no joke. The Arnold Classic lineup isn't as strong as the Olympia, but it's still a very, very strong lineup. I give Sam Sulek so much credit for getting in great shape. Off topic. Insulin. I used insulin for about 3 months during a winter bulk, and I got heavier than ever before. I was almost 250 at 5'8". I was like 248 at my highest, but I was fat. I was eating things like cookies after my workout with the insulin, which, Milos will tell you straight up, you're an idiot. You're not supposed to have any fat with the insulin. It's supposed to be pure sugar, and I screwed that up. But I don't know. I didn't do it correctly, and I'm not interested in ever doing it again. Obviously, a lot of people swear by it and use it. I just don't want to. More excited to see the open guys. Oh yeah, I mean, in the videos in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking a lot about the open class. Today, I just really wanted to give a little focus to Sulek. Who is Sam most likely to beat? The only guy, Xavier, that I saw that he might have a good chance of beating is a guy named Paul Canu. And I only say that because Paul looks natural to me. And the condition, he's a smaller guy, great shape, beautiful shape. But he's not huge. Sam's bigger than he is, and Sam's definitely much more conditioned. This guy has better shape and structure. But if you pressed me as to who he might be able to beat, I'm not saying he's going to beat him. I don't know if Sam's going to beat anybody. But that's one guy just based on what I'm seeing. And again, it's nothing personal against anybody. It never is. I'm just talking about physiques. It's just going to show how tough the competition. Oh, it's the Arnold Classic, man. It's the second biggest show in the world. 100%. Donald Pump. Oh, you're agreeing with Donald Pump. Oh, yeah. It's Classic Physique it's a very tough division because it has so much more participation at the amateur level than bodybuilding does that we're getting a much greater gene pool representation. The talent level in Classic Physique is getting better and better. Of course, we still have some very good open bodybuilders, and we're getting new ones every year. But Classic pumps out a lot more new talent. To the usual route. No, I mean he's not using a coach. I mean, I don't know what a coach could do for him. Condition-wise, Sam couldn't be any better than he is. He's in amazing condition, and I don't think that would be, what's a coach really going to do? They're not going to change the things that need to be changed, which is his shape and symmetry. There's nothing a coach can do. So, I'm going to go back to it. I'm trying to show. Where is this? So, where's his front door? Okay, so I mean, this is a coach can't change that. He can be bigger, he can be leaner, he can focus more on body parts. Like again, I said, he needs more tricep. He definitely needs more lat width. His lats aren't very wide. He doesn't have much of a taper. It's kind of more of a square torso. There's a little bit of a taper, of course there is. And he's got nice tight abdominals and everything, but he doesn't have that real flare to the lats going into a small waist, which it looks like everybody he's competing against does have that. So it's tough. Yeah, he's jumping in. Hey, again, I give him credit for another thing. Of course, he's going to do the Arnold because, like I said, the Arnold has treated him very well. He's got a great relationship with the promoters. He lives in Ohio. And, why not make your pro debut at a huge show like that, jump right in? But it would have been a lot easier for him to find a much more obscure pro show somewhere like in Nebraska or who knows, a small pro show where he would have had a better chance. Definitely would have had a better chance of making top 5. Sebum could have won. Oh, see, that's how Giles got in trouble by saying that. Yeah, I think Sebum with like just a year to focus on putting on a little more size. He did pretty well in open with only 3 weeks to put on more size to fill out a little more. If he took a full off season to grow, I think Chris Bump said could have been a great open pro. Who knows? He might come back. He's only 30. He just turned 31. He's so young still. Samsung piece of last place. That's rough, but it's I think you're being real. Sam looks how small the pros we're competing with. Let's height and weight. So yeah, maybe I should look that up first, huh? I believe he's about 5'10" or 5'11". I don't know what he can come in. It doesn't even matter. It's visual. If you look like you're bigger than someone else, it really doesn't matter if you weigh more or not. Because even at the same height and weight, depending on the size of your joints and how full and round your muscle bellies are, 2 people with the same exact height and weight and even the same body fat, so they're carrying the same exact amount of muscle mass, but it can look very different on different people just because of structure and muscle shape and things like that. CM structure isn't ideal for class. No, it's not. It's not. We just ran through all those guys, the other 11 guys he's competing against, and they all were gifted. They're all more genetically gifted in terms of structure. Your bones are your bones. You can't change your bones. You can change a lot of things about your physique, but your bones, yeah, you're not doing jack to those. Sam's 5'11". Okay, so 5'11". IFBB Pro League weight cap classic physique, 5'11". Come on, AI, do your thing. This can't be right. 5'11" says 209. Maximum weight. No, I think that's amateur. Pro rules. So it's pros are different. Classic physique. Okay, so here we go. I got it. So if he's 5'11", he can be 219. Is that right? Yeah, this is from the IFBB Pro League. This is the IFBB's official website it went to. But that doesn't sound right to me. 6'1" can be 234, 6'2", 242. Yeah, I guess that's right. Because yeah, that is right. Because I know I looked into Classic just in case I wanted to try it. Could I get to it? It was, for my height, it was like 187 would be the amateur limit in the NPC, but for a pro, that can be 197. So Sam can be 219. That is his limit for this show. Got a bone extension machine in my gym. So season pattern, we stepped on products. Age almost did beat Martin. Sam's just getting feet. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think Sam's going to hit his full potential as a physique competitor for a few more years. He's young in the game. Now, 24, we had guys like Rich Gaspari being runner-up at the Mr. Olympia at 24. We had guys like Lee Haney becoming Mr. Olympia at age 24. Arnold Schwarzenegger, too, but he's still a very young kid. He's a young guy. At 6'5", what's your limit, Don Pump? That's a good question. You might be unlimited. Okay, classic physique. Let's see, Donald. It's 6'5". You can be 263, Donald. You can be up to 263. It's Christmas tree on the back because I never see it as an upside down moment. Yeah, it's so show it to you real quick. My dog's getting antsy. He does this like fake sneezing thing when he wants his walk. There's the Christmas tree right there. Yeah, it's like an upside. No, it's not an upside down Christmas tree. It's kind of looks like a tree. Now you get it? Okay. The 20 years fill out. Yeah. I need to pick different parents. It's too late now. Should take a year off to gain size. He can't, well, if he wants to go open, I don't think he can gain much more size and still make weight for classic. It's not size that he's not giving up a lot of size to these guys. It's the shape of the muscles that's different about those. Thought his weight limit was 226. He might be the 5'11", including 6 foot. Well, it goes. God, I keep losing it. I need to keep it there. So, Pro League. What do I do with it? Pro rules. Competition rules. I'm going to close this out after this. So, weight limit of 226. There is no 220. There's a 227 if you're between 5'11" and 6 foot. So if you're over 5'11" but under 6 foot, you can be 290. Wait a minute. To including 6 foot. Yeah, so if he's over 5'11", if he's 5'11", it says up to and including 6 foot is 227. Yeah. He is first made as far as ideal structure. Yeah, he was pretty damn good. I wouldn't see where he would hide is Wesley. Yeah, Wesley's pretty damn tall. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. So that was our little talk for today. I'll be doing more videos throughout the week. Please keep your notifications on. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Liking, subscribing, sharing, all things that don't cost you a penny, but really help me out with this channel, help it grow. Appreciate you guys so much. Keep it tuned right here to Ron Harris Muscle. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.